Adam McKinnon, good morning, good afternoon. It's Simon Catt from Catt Calls in Arlington. How are you? Where are you?
Hi, Simon. I'm great. I'm in Sydney, in Australia.
And Adam, you're the Managing Director of Advanced Metals.
Yep, correct. I've been in this role now since early this year, and yeah, it's been a pretty hectic time, but we're starting to really kick some goals now.
And Adam, you've got some news today. You've made a press release on the Australian Stock Exchange today that you've made a new discovery at the Happy Valley Project in the Myrtleford region in Victoria. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We've been drilling here on and off all year now. We focused mainly in previous holes immediately below some historic workings there. The big difference with this particular hole that we've announced today is that we've really stepped down a significant distance. So we've actually put a hole around 140 metres deeper than the previous deepest intersection at this deposit.
Is that a
And
lot? 140 meters, is that a lot?
yeah, to put that in context, that single hole has basically doubled the known strike of mineralisation at this particular deposit. So it is a big step down, yes.
So what is the known strike now would be what, 300 or 400 meters or something like that?
If you include the historic workings, which we know were mined at a very high grade from near surface, we're talking closer to 500 metres from top to bottom now.
And what you say high grade, how high grade are we talking?
Well, we know previous Explorer Serra, or E79 as they were called then, actually hit an interval approaching 2,000 grams per tonne gold. In our programs this year, we've hit some very, very juicy intersections as well, including probably our best hole to date, which was around 1.3 metres at over 300 grams a tonne. So this deposit really is spectacularly high grade.
And you mentioned this was an old mine, old workings. How long ago was it mined, and will this be a mine again one day?
So predominantly mined between sort of 1855 and 1875. It was mined at a grade of about an ounce to the tonne, so it was a very, very high grade mine. And look, the way things are heading, I think there is a very good possibility that we may see Happy Valley as a mine at some stage in the medium term.
And Adam, Victoria is famous for its high-grade gold mines, and I recall that the Victorian Stock Exchange was at one point the largest in the world, led by the Bendigo and Ballarat discoveries in the late 1800s. Can you explain where this Happy Valley project is in relation to those famous Bendigo Ballarat ore bodies and goldfields?
Absolutely. So we sit in an area we call the northeastern Goldfields. This was a prolific area. For those who know about Ned Kelly, this was sort of an area he frequented during the gold rush days. The area we're in itself produced somewhere in the order of 6 million ounces of gold. That was both alluvial and hard rock. And we're sitting sort of you would say, to the east of the Bendigo zone. And Bendigo is obviously the very famous deposit in Victoria, produced more than 20 million ounces of gold. I guess the key thing in terms of geology, which is what's important for us, is that we do believe that the rocks that underlie the Bendigo zone also underlie the Myrtleford area. So we're actually really exploring for similar style deposits. I guess a lot of the focus historically has been on the Bendigo zone further to the west. There hasn't been to date a huge amount of modern exploration in our area.
Right, and so Bendigo produced more gold. Was it a similar grade to Myrtleford? You'd produced less gold, but higher or lower grade?
Depends on the part of the system you're talking about, but sometimes at those grades, later in its life, it produced at a quite a bit lower grade in the between 5 and 10 grams to the ton.
That's Bendigo or Myrtleford?
Bendigo, Myrtleford, all the mines around in the Myrtleford district typically were mining in that near to that ounce to the ton, 30 grams to the ton type level.
Okay. Which is more like, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, the Fosterville mine famously which was at one point the highest grade, most profitable gold mine in the world of now Agnico Eagle. That was those sort of grades, right?
Correct, but not initially. So I guess Fosterville started off as a moderate to low grade system close to the surface, but they subsequently discovered what they call the Swan Zone at depth, and that had these bonanza grade gold hits, and it's what made it one of the highest grade gold mines in the world, and that's really the encouraging thing for us. Those are the sorts of grades we know these areas can produce. And we believe we're starting to see the indications that we might have a similar or a system of significant. Sorry, let me start that again. I believe we. Sorry, tongue-tied here.
Don't worry.
We believe we might be starting to see a system of similar significance, given the strike and dip extents we're starting to see with these drill results.
And so how many recent holes do you have into this higher grade, deeper system, and what's the plan going forward?
So to date, we've drilled a total of 10 holes. And basically, we picked up this project at the start of the year. We did an initial maiden program of 4 holes. All of those hit high grade, and they were in the upper parts. We drilled another 5 holes more recently, also in the upper parts of the system. Once again, hitting some very significant grade. Our hole 9 actually hit somewhere in the order of 9 meters at 18 grams per tonne, so not shabby at all. This hole we've just drilled is the only hole we've drilled at depth. So it's basically the system now is open in every direction. And the obvious question is, what do we do next? And we are looking to aggressively get in here and drill some more holes up dip, down dip, and along strike.
So you mentioned 10 holes. Was that the drilling in 2025? And how many holes might you drill in 2026?
I would suggest we will be looking to drill significantly more than that. We are working on developing a program at the moment to best test this new mineralisation we think we've discovered. We would expect we will be drilling somewhere between 30 and 40 holes next year, but that's all dependent, obviously, on depth and location.
And you've got the money to do that?
Absolutely. We've just had a really successful placement to institutional and sophisticated investors to raise $13 million. So we're well and truly cashed up to really get in and test these zones.
And one more question from me, Adam. What are you most excited about with this Myrtleford Happy Valley project and this journey of discovery?
What I'm most excited about is that this hole we put in basically confirms that there is continuity in this system. It's pretty easy to go at lots of places in Victoria and hit some gold. What you don't often get is the sorts of continuity we are seeing now, potentially over half a kilometre depth. My question would be, what's beyond what we've just drilled? And, the sky's the limit here. It really, for me, I truly believe this is the most significant hole the company's drilled to date. And this could be the start of a very major new discovery for both the region and for Victoria.
Wow. Well, that sounds pretty exciting, Adam. I'll be watching with interest, and we haven't even spoken about Mexico. That'll be a future discussion. But congratulations on today's visual assay. Looking forward to seeing the actual assay, which is due when?
We're looking at 4 to 5 weeks at the moment, so end of November, early December.
Good. Adam, thanks so much for your time. Can't wait to see the assay, and happy drilling in Happy Valley.
Thanks, Simon. Great to chat.